So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike SB Dunk eBays. Can you tell any differences between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another comparison for you between two pairs of Nike SB Dunks. But first, check out the new sign. I think it looks absolutely crazy. So here we have two pairs of Nike SB Dunks, and these are the eBay Dunks. The retail one is here on my right, which was purchased from eBay through their authentication service, and then the fake one is here. And I'll just be showing you the differences between a retail and fake and what to look for if you're trying to purchase a retail pair. Hello, so I thought I'd just jump in here and tell you a quick thing about today's sponsor, IP Royal. So behind me, you can see I've got quite a lot of shoes. However, I actually managed to purchase these without a bot. But nowadays, that's almost impossible. And that's why IP Royal is here to help. Bring you a special coupon code for 50% off their Royal Residential Proxy. Residential proxies come from real devices with real ISP issued connections. If you use a proxy server, each retail store sees one process as an individual user. So it means you can keep checking out, and it'll be seen as multiple users, except it's just you. Bots use these proxies to hide their activity, so it means you can skip these annoying captures every time you check out. So if you want to try out their proxies, there's a link down below in the description for 50% off, and let's hope you can cop some more sneakers. But now we'll get right back into the comparison. So if we take a look from above at the Nike SB logo on top of the box and take a look at the four colors on top of the rainbow box, you can see that the red is much darker on the retail box compared to the fake one, where you can see this red is a lot lighter. And if you look at the Nike SB logo on the top of the box, you can see that the SB is placed slightly lower on the fake one compared to the retail one. So positioning on the top of the box is very different from retail to fake. And in terms of colors, they're very different as well. I would say they're much brighter on the fake box compared to the retail one, where the colors are a little bit darker. Spinning the boxes around to the side, and we take a closer look at the labels of both pairs. So here, if you take a look at the label, there's once again a huge difference between the two pairs. On the fake one, it says Nike SB Dunk Low, whereas on the retail one, it says Nike SB Dunk Low OG QS. There's a difference between the two pairs. And if you look at the color as well, it says white Hyper Royale Mean Green on the retail one, and on the fake one it says multicolor / blue. So there is a difference between the two, and the overall text and font size is different between the two pairs if you look closely. So just take a closer look at the comparison, and if you have a pair at home, just check the label. But at the end of the day, these are just boxes, so we'll open them up and take a closer look at the shoes. So we'll open up the fake one first. So they've actually wrapped the pair of shoes in the paper, which they don't normally do, but for this pair, they've done it. Open up the retail one. They have wrapped up the paper as well. So we'll be comparing the shoes side by side. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike SB Dunk eBays. Can you tell any differences between these two? This is genuinely such a crazy shoe. I just think it's such a crazy design. I think it's absolutely wild, but I actually like it. I wouldn't wear them. I do like it. So the first difference I'm going to point out is on the yellow part of this patent leather, and I'll show you this in the close-up. So if we take a closer look at this yellow part, you can see the stitching going over the top. What I would say is the fake one is a slightly different color to the retail one, so I would say the stitching stands out a lot more on the fake one just because of that contrasting yellow color, whereas on the retail one the stitching is a closer color to the actual panel below, so it kind of blends in a little bit more. But that is a very minor difference, but can be seen in certain lightings. Spinning the shoe around to the back and taking a look at the Nike swoosh and the SB logo on the heel, you can see differences in the embroidery. So from the close-up, you can see that the SB logo is very different from retail to fake. I would say the retail one is actually a lighter blue compared to the fake one, which is a little bit darker. And also, if you look at the SB text on the heel, you can see that it's a lot thicker on the fake one and a lot bigger than it is on the retail pair. Another difference between the two pairs is the see-through cutout here. On either parts of the panel on either side, the frayed material is very clear to see, whereas on the fake one, it seems to be cut incredibly clean. There's no fraying of the material, but if you look at every single section of cutouts on the retail one, there's frayed material. It's almost like it's been ripped apart on the retail one compared to the fake one, where it looks just like it's been cut with like a heat saw or something like that. So it's very different from retail to fake. Taking a look at the back heel of both of these pairs once again, you can see that the shape of both is very different. I'd say the fake one is much chunkier and fatter on the heel compared to the retail one, where you can see it's just a little bit skinnier at the back heel part. So the main difference on the tongue label of both of these pairs occurs on the underside. And if you take a look at the text of both of these underneath, you can see that the positioning of the text is very different from retail to fake. On the fake one, you can see this text is placed much higher up and there's a larger gap at the bottom underneath the swoosh, whereas on the retail one you can see the text pretty much fits exactly in the middle of this label. Taking a closer look at the toe box area, and you can see where this material is cut with that plastic part in between, you can see that the stitching on the retail one goes pretty much all the way up to this part where the material is cut, whereas on the fake one you can see there's a larger gap between the material and the stitching, and also that plastic strip that goes across. And just take a closer look at that frayed material and see how much more it's frayed on the retail one compared to the fake one. That is a key difference between both of these pairs. The frayed material in the cutout sections is very clear to see. Taking a look from above at the actual toe box shape between the two pairs, and just like most of the fakes that I do, they don't seem to be able to get the toe box shape correct. So just from above you can see that's a much boxier toe box on the fake one compared to the retail one. Taking a look at the what is left of the swoosh on the outer side in the blue material, and taking a closer look at the stitching going around the swoosh, you can see differences here. So the stitching on the retail and fake is different, and you can see there's a much larger gap on the outer side of the swoosh between the stitching and the outer material on the retail one compared to the fake one. And if you look at the back part of the swoosh, this stitching is very clear to see in the difference between the retail and fake. Taking a look at the underside of the sole and looking at these cutout marks that go underneath the sole, I would say that the fake one has made these cutout marks a little bit too large compared to the retail one. On the retail one, they pretty much match the same as the upper cutouts, but on the fake one, the gap is just a little bit too large on the fake one compared to the retail one. However, no one's really going to see that on the bottom side of the shoe when you're walking. If you take a look from above at the actual heel shape of the shoe like this, you can see that the fake one is much chunkier and larger and wider compared to the retail one. Just gives off a little bit more slim design, even for a Nike SB Dunk, which are slightly chunkier than a normal Dunk. So now we'll take a look inside the shoe, and on the fake one it did come with a huge paper stuffing, and the retail one did come with one. I don't know what I've done with it, but it did come with one. The left one I can show you did as well, but I've lost the right one for some reason. But you can see the paper difference is very different. There is a difference between the two in terms of colour and appearance. So I've never actually looked at the inside of the insole, but as you can see, it has somebody wearing the shoes with no socks, so you can see their toes. They've obviously gone for the wrong size, but that is quite odd. Never actually looked at that before, that's quite funny. But if I look at the graphics on both of the top of the insoles and compare them side by side, you can see differences. So the overall image quality and colour is very different from retail to fake, with it being much brighter and clearer on the retail pair compared to the fake one, and it's also a lot larger on the retail one compared to the fake one. These are both a UK 9, so they should be exactly the same, but as you can see, the image on the retail one is much larger and zoomed in compared to the fake one, and if you can see this on the comparing the toe box at the front of the shoe. Spinning these insoles upside down, and there's once again a huge difference between the two in terms of colour. The retail one has a grey forefoot of the insole, whereas the fake one you can see it has a black padded part here. In terms of structure and feel, they do actually feel relatively the same. Just in terms of colour and appearance, they are very different side by side. So for this pair in particular, the same differences that I've pointed out on the right side occur on the left side. So this comparison is pretty much exactly the same if I was going to show you on the left side. So I will only show you the right shoe for this pair, because pretty much all the details are exactly the same. There's nothing different on the left one than there is on the right. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this comparison has helped you if you are trying to purchase a retail pair. I think the prices are going down quite a lot, so it might be the time to pick them up, but they're a very hard shoe to wear, so that might explain why the price is going down. I think they're cool, and I think it'll be a cool piece to display on the wall, but will I wear them? Probably not. But if you do, I hope this video has helped you, and thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, helps the channel grow, helps me do more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, hope you have an amazing day.